Hey, and welcome back. It's tutorial slash story time today, I guess. I've played some shows, ran into some slight issues. Not really that bad, but you know, you tend to overthink everything and rearrange stuff, which is exactly what I did, and it did help quite a bit. So, before we start, this is the clean tone. Just a clean Hiwatt, slightly crispy, but you know. So putting the foundational drive last is usually not what people do, and I've never really done it in years. My foundational drive, the lowest gain stage, if you will, is fake plastic trees, and it sounds like this. All right, so I said 3 reasons. Let's just go with that and start with the first one. If you have a foundational drive, that's your always on thing, and it's got a lot of headroom, you can put it last in order to get rid of frequency spikes. For example, if I had this in front and would be putting, like, say, a rat or stuff after it, it's gonna interact with the rat, but the harsher top end of the rat will be much more prominent than if I were to put the rat after it. For example, this is the clean tone. This is the Kuro filter fuzz, and it's pretty full bandwidth. Which is cool. But if I were to boost this, or have this after fake plastic trees, it would be even, how do I put this? It would be even more spiky, whereas if I have fake plastic trees after it, which has plenty of headroom to go, you realize what I mean? It's focusing things, and it's keeping things a lot more even in a way. Another aspect of this is that you have sort of a global EQ. You can use this EQ for the rest of the pedals in a way, or for your overall EQ. Plus, you can still put modulation or time-based effects after it and in front of your amplifier. So it's not the same as having your amplifier set crunchy and running everything into a crunchy amplifier. That is one thing. I'll just walk you through some of the sounds without fake plastic trees and with fake plastic trees. So as you can hear, fake plastic trees is not only taming the high-end fizz of the 1942, but it's also adding some more presence to Regalis or small fracture, which you can set them up brighter, but this is how I found they work the best with fake plastic trees, or in this setup in general. So that's reason number one, being you have an overall EQ and it's evening out frequencies. Reason number two is lower noise floor. If I had a higher gain pedal after it, I would be needing more gain from that pedal because it's getting boosted by fake plastic trees in front in order to tighten things up, but it's still going to add a lot more noise. Whereas I can have a similar gain feel, if you will, a similar compression without having as much noise and feedback issues with something like Regalis, for example. This is not compressing a lot, this is not compressing a lot, but we're kind of sort of limiting in stages, you know? There is noise, but it's not nearly as much as if I were to crank a rat after fake plastic trees. Plus, I don't get any of the fizz. That would be reason number one. So, that is reason number two, less noise, even with something like the filter fuzz, which is gated. Very quiet. And small fracture. A little bit, but that's what small fracture does anyway. So that's reason number two, you got a lower noise floor. And now reason number three, which is something that I hadn't really thought about a lot, but it makes a lot of sense, is every pedal gets the signal that it's designed to work with. Of course, pedals work with other pedals, you can stack pedals and so on and so forth, but I think the majority of the time designing a pedal is usually spent that it sees a guitar signal. And for example, with Kuro, with the filter fuzz, this is really very obvious, but I've never thought of it that way. Before, I had the fake plastic trees in front of this. This is a gated fuzz. A gated fuzz means there is a threshold in there, and once I exceed this threshold, the thing is gonna turn on and be distorted in everything. Once I get underneath that threshold, my playing dynamics, it's gonna gate it off. There's not gonna be any sound, and there's also not gonna be any noise. No noise, as you can hear. If I play now, it's gonna open up. And if I let the chord ring out, it's just gonna die off at some point. Hang on. There we go. I kind of sort of opened my hand here, but you know what I mean. So there's a threshold. That threshold works the best if you have a signal with a very high signal to noise ratio. So a clean guitar, for example, it has a much higher dynamic range than if you had something that already has a noise floor, like, for example, a drive pedal in front of it, which makes it much less precise, and you're gonna run into some noise issues live because you're gonna be dealing with feedback from your amplifier and so on and so forth. It's just gonna be very hard to control. This way it's not. It's super easy because it always sees a guitar signal, just a clean guitar signal with a lot of dynamic range. Similarly with Regalis, it stacks beautifully. You can put stuff in front of it, no problem. But in my personal opinion, it sounds the best and reacts the best to a guitar signal, seeing it. Same with small fracture. It's also slightly gated, as you can tell. Rolling the guitar volume down. There we go. So there's slight gating in there as well. Fake Plastic Trees, on the other hand, has tons of headroom and is also designed like it's designed after an amplifier, the big trees. It takes pedals beautifully, and I wouldn't really see it as an overdrive pedal in this way, but an extension of the actual amplifier. So what I mean, my point is, sorry for all the rambling, is that every pedal sees the signal it's designed to work with, or at least primarily. Again, no hard and fast rules, and you can challenge everything and stack however you want, but you know, that's the logic behind my approach, and it's working better for me in live situations as well. Because it's just less noisy, you know. It's less noisy, it's easier to control. You don't have any stray frequencies. Let's just revisit. Point number 1, stray frequencies. That's one thing, stray frequencies. Number 2, not as much compression in a way, like to the point where it starts squealing. Still chuggable, no problem. Number 3, every signal gets what it wants. And that's my thought process behind everything. And for the outro, I'm just going to play some more stuff from the board. It also works with modulation in front and so on and so forth. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting my little channel. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.